like flip the letter upside down to say, look, we're planning all these projects and we need your help. But the way the letter is structured now, we're talking about Minatzchim, and we have to bring in why we're important, or what we're doing is important. So that's what that headline is doing, is essentially throwing out a challenge and then drawing them in who the Minatzchim are, and then explaining what our appeal is. So that's why I felt it was important to put in a headline. Again, we can flip the letter around. Pardon? Oh.
Was it
Memorial Day?
Memorial
Day weekend on the bike path.
Nair Hittel.
Is this a new California Strimel?
This is I'm going 30 miles today on the bike.
Wow.
Well, amazing.
This is in the middle. This is in the middle. Dat kennen van oude cheesecake.
Heb je gemeen, is de hele rugnis.
Rabbi, sorry to jump in. If you don't mind, we'll go back to that, to the writing in a few minutes. I just I want to quickly make an introduction to. We have here a Bacher, Chaim Pekarsky, who's on. He's listening. He's just hiding his face. He's here. There we go. He is a Reuven. You can see us. You're on.
Yes, I'm on. I see you.
Okay. Good. Okay. Watch the road. Anyway, so
I'm on the bike right now.
Okay. So this Bacher Chaim Pekarsky is a very, very muksher, and he's doing a al derech the Maisa with the Mashiach office with Shlomi Naparslik. Shlomi is a Yid who, before he even got to Merkos 302, before he got involved in it and at all, he was a Bacher fully invested in Mashiach, in Yanagul Mashiach campaign, v'chul, like this is where his life was, and therefore it was like a perfect match for him to get and take the helm of the Mashiach office in Merkos 302. Al derech is over here. We're looking for somebody that is pasig for to be the bar poil or the menal poil of anything that we want to do as a Minatzchim group. We were looking for somebody that already has the chayas, because you can't hire chayas. It has to come naturally, and a geschmack in it. So Chaim Pekarsky is a bacher fully invested in this on his own. He's kol kuloi arangaton in Yanagul Mashiach, and therefore he would be a perfect fit. We spoke a few times. I told him our general idea of what we're looking for, and he's considering it. But in the same time, he is now fully invested in a project that he started. He's doing it with a few more bachrim, but he's in the helm of it. It just shows you what kind of muksher he is and bar poyel he is, that he is the one behind the chidain in Yanagul Mashiach that every Mesifta in Lubavitch is doing. It's an incredible undertaking, but I should say everyone besides two, doesn't matter, but basically Rubam Kekulam of Mesiftas around Lubavitch, from all different types of Mesiftas, all are doing this Chidei in Yanagul Mashiach. It's like the Chidei on Mitzvahs that Tiv Hashem does, but it's all about Yanagul Mashiach. But he had to create a brand new curriculum. Every year, it's our third year now. It's a new curriculum every year. Tests with a grand, on the stage celebration and test that will be around Gimel Tammuz time. It grew naturally. It started 2 years ago with less, and last year with more yeshivas, and again this year he reached mamish kimat every single yeshiva. It's an unbelievable thing. It's a big thing that he's doing kol kuloi, and that's why I asked him to come on here. We can have a little conversation, but I think it would be important to Chaim, before we tell him our ideas, if we can first hear him. Chaim, you want to share with us a little bit about your current project? Give everybody a taste of what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll start from
the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. No, I was just trying to think. This is a hakel. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention in the beginning, but we should probably start with some vart of the Rebbe.
Of course.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Hi, we're listening. Yeah. Give us a fresh regards from 770. I've worked with Evan.
So I'll just chazer off the top of my head, just a small nakuda that chazer in Kalucha. That the Rebbe says that we have the connection on Chag HaShavuos between Moshe Rabbeinu, David HaMelech, and the Baal Shem Tov, which it's a famous sikha that everyone knows. But the Nakuda of Melech, which is, I guess, connected to Hakel, the idea that that the Yidden are Melechas Kayanim. Every Yid's really a Melech, and Moshe Rabbeinu and the Baal Shem Tov and David HaMelech, each one helped and brought enabled the Yidden to be a Melech and to be shaylet on Teva and be l'mayla min Teva and be able to do Torah mitzvahs in the world. So that's the koyach of these tzaddikim. And it's interesting. I saw in I saw in other fabrikas and Menbeis and different things how the Rebbe clearly connects Shavuos with not just the Baal Shem Tov, but also all the Mamalim B'Kaimim and all the Rebbeim. That it's a direct the Rebbeim Kamuvan, right? Especially the Moshe Chodara, they are directly connected with Shavuos and what Shavuos is meant to do, which is to bring, which is Mashiach, which is to bring the Tachas Hashem as a Gilul Kusin world. So that's the nakuda. Every yid gets the kach from these Nesiei Yisrael to be a melech. So when I was in yeshiva, and I was in Barwa, I was in Zal, and they needed someone to be in charge of Gvul Mashiach. So me and my friend, we took on the job, and we were in charge of Gvul Mashiach, and we were trying to figure out, like, we wrap our head around it, like, to make how do we make a functioning program? You make a shear, you get orange juice, you get from bison. To make, we had a zal of I don't know how many bachrim, 200 bachrim, whatever it was, and the amount of bachrim that showed up were like makam kama minion. So we did all these different things. We tried, preparing Mar Mekaimes for each Magid Shir and giving him a topic, and it helped. It was nice. It grew from 10 to 30, but we were always trying to figure out how we can make that it shouldn't be 30 bachrim out of a 200 zal yeshiva should be learning Gul Mashiach and Ubizagufa. You could give them makamis, the makadis to the guy to pay attention. That there's no way you could control that. So Akopanim. So when I was a shliach, so me and a friend we decided that we have to do something about this. And we started with we reached out to our friends. The point is, without getting straight to the point, we took kavitz, we worked on it, we figured it out, we got Bachram to help us, and we prepared a curriculum, and then we translated. It was our first year. We weren't so professional, but we got it. We translated the whole thing to English, and it was a Bachar English. But the kids there, we reached out. We got 8 yeshivas that ran the mitzvah in the yeshiva. Then the budget was $15,000, which I never raised a penny before that. So whatever was after, whatever we were going to think about the money later. We figured it out. They wish had geholfen, but so it was a big success. Pashat. The Bachrim, where the feedback we got from the Bachrim, the first time they're getting a peek into Gul Mashiach as a actual limud with sugyas from intent, mitfis, from the beginning till the end, from Gaila and Brispin Abisarim, and Pasha the Bachrim were Pasha enjoying, Pasha connecting with it on their own. The Chidon itself, the excitement, the Bachrim that were on stage. Pasha, I remember after the Chidon, in the lunchroom. Bachram would sit and they would each chazer on Meftzayim roots. The Bachram started, you got Meftzayim, they said Varteira. Say Gilul Mashiach. Yeah, like explain a word, say Shvatim, a question with the answer, Shlim is Torah mitzvahs. It was mamish, very beautiful. We got very excited, and that's it. And we got good feedback, and it was from there, we just spiralized. The next year we had 21 yeshivas, and this year we have 36 yeshivas plus. There's still yeshivas which join in the middle. Antwerp joined in the middle, but Baruch Hashem, this is one of our kaivitzim. It's 3 kaivitzim, and it's English. It's Lashon Hakodesh side by side. We have just Hebrew version, just whatever. We have all the versions for when you're dealing with every type of bacher. You have to cater all different levels, v'chulu. But the point is, the bacherim learn for 6 weeks straight. They're learning the sugyas. They're taking tests, and obviously, like everybody, yeah.
36. What is it? Mesiftas, right?
Just Mesiftas.
And what is it? Only in America?
Thinking about what we can do with the Zals, but that's a harder question.
What is it? It's America. Where is it? America.
No, this is all the we have South America, North America. We have Europe. We have Australia. We have all the continents.
The ganze Welt besides Israel, right?
Yeah, so the Eretz Yisrael yeshivas, we tried working on them, but it's a little for the Americans to work with Israelis. It's not the same Ramah. It's different programs. We have one yeshiva, small yeshiva, American yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael that's joining us. But we have a mamish from Brazil to Argentina to all the new Mesiftas in Connecticut and Toronto and the Mesiftas in Australia, Antwerp, Brunois, you name it, Baruch Hashem, they're all joining. So that's the idea. Gimel Tammuz, Bezos Hashem, and Alitaira Hall. We have the Bacherim come and they have a whole Suda Siyum and with a whole dinner and the top representatives from the yeshivas go on stage, and that itself is a made the gazach. You see Bacherim, they ask questions you never dreamt of the question b'chlal. They forget the answer, and the Bacherim spit the answer in a split second. They tell you the answer to this 2 sugyas before. Tell me who are the 5 people in seconds. These people are spitting Mara Mekamis. And so it's crazy. It's crazy feedback, and what we were very excited about is that who are the bacherim, who are Talmidim Shluchim, who are our future shluchim? It's all the bacherim. So if you have a bacher that, I mean, besides the fact that this Pashat now we're bringing Mashiach right now, we're going to go Mashiach, but Pashat, you're taking the entire Lubavitch and you're getting into their heads Sugis Gul Mashiach, and then every bacher is Ilam and every bacher affects the way he goes on Mitzayim. He's going to be a Talmid Mashliach, and he's going to Shlichas. He's going to Shlichas. He's going to know the Sugis Gul Mashiach in his head. This is the easiest way he can reach his community. When he knows Gul Mashiach, he can teach Gul Mashiach. So that's the general idea, and if you have any questions,
Trevor, let me jump in here for a second. Yeah, so that's obviously this is Derech HaYeshara. There's no question. This is the way to change the world, change the world. And you know, let me just say it as it is. Chaim is more than happy to make this a Minatzchim project. If you have all the shluchim on board. This is obviously on a whole, and right now it's a few bachrim doing it from 770. You know, there's more chayas than formality. It's very formal, maybe an amazing project, but I'm saying there's a lot of so basically he was talking to me about this, and I'm talking to him about what we're looking for. So, you know, basically what we're up to. I said, come on, and let's make this a joint conversation instead of just between us. You know, so somebody wants to ask questions. That's basically how he's this is all behind the scenes before today's phone call. He's ready, Be'etzim, to hear what we have in mind, and he's ready to offer this to be part of Minatzchim, and we can join together. We have to bring Mashiach, so whatever it takes.
I'll be the Kofetz L'Reish. I'll jump in over here. I don't think that our idea is to take a program that's existing and just put a stamp on it. That's way too easy. I mean, I'm sure it's going to make it easier for Chaim that we're going to start giving him money, but that's not what we're interested in. He's doing a beautiful project, Alei V'Atzlach, and Mechail El Chayim. But I think you said an interesting nekuda, and correct nekuda, that you said that Derech HaYeshara is to learning in Yonim v'cholo v'cholo, Yonim Mashiach v'cholo. But the Rebbe didn't say learning in Yonim Mashiach v'cholo only within our own circles. only within the Lubavitch. The Rebbe said, so I think that what we need to focus on, somehow, if we could make a chitan for the whole world, that would be beautiful. But I don't think that we could and content ourselves and focus on only unsere eigene business, there's no question about it. It's definitely important that Chabad, Anash, etc. should learn Yana Mashiach Gula. But it cannot be left only with Anash and Chabad. Because I can give you a number of beautiful ideas if you want. You can take it to all the seminaries, make a chidon for the girls, you can make a chidon for shluchim, you can make a chidon for Anash. I mean, all this is beautiful, but I think we have to look much wider. The Rebbe says ultimately, there's kol ha'olam kulei. So
I'm very happy to make a chidon for all the Misnagdisha yeshivas and Polish
beautiful.
yeshivas.
What I'm saying is, we have, and this is what I don't want to start now talking negative about something else. My issue with Tut Alt is that it's became a chinuch program for Nash. It's important. It's beautiful. But the Rebbe says more than this, right? And Chas v'shalom, they should continue doing what they're doing, and they're doing amazing work, but it's all still within Anash. I think what we need to, if you can come up with chidon for the whole world, for all the yeshivas, for all the Rosh Yeshivas, for the whole world, for all Balbatim, creating a curriculum for every Jew around the world, just like Daf HaYomi has gotten the craze of the whole world, right? I mean, I'm amazed. I see people that can hardly read Lashon Kodesh, but they walk around with a daf, and it's a beautiful thing. The learning Torah. We should be able to get them and work around with Inan Mashiach Gula. So we have to think broader. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Whatever line you take, it's a beautiful idea. There's no question about it. But
then we're on the same page.
Okay, good. And I thought so. That's why I said it.
I think that perhaps this kind of tips into a broader topic, which is perhaps what, in the sense, what one might consider the mission statement of what Minatzchim is specific vis-a-vis, for example, there's already a Merkez, there's a Mashiach office or whatever it is, and I think to a certain degree, that the Mashiach office, he's approaching this. Shlomo Parsek is very methodically, and he's working his way through the business, the action model that he has planned, which is, and he's seeing a tremendous hatzlacha in it, etc. I think what we the shluchim and anash that come weekly to a meeting here are latakas eitzes. What has to be done? Any and all ideas that will really push the envelope forward and get us across the finish line. And what we've realized is that, as Yehuda mentioned, and as will be talked about more, is that we are willing to be taimich in ideas and effort in resources, financial and otherwise, but for each one of us also has a day job, as it were. I say that because I don't want to limit it to just shluchim, but basically, this demands at least one person that is meisers atzmai kol kula, and in any and all ideas that come up, and it would be to a certain degree the prerogative of the one who is appointed or the one who is hired to also say, here these ideas. I think this idea I have a plan I can pursue. I can see to kind of create what is on their plate in the moment, with obviously the approval and the consent of the board that they would be working with. But you have in this position a unique situation where you're whoever it is that takes this job would not be the one to have to do everything from scratch, as is often is the case that Chaim, you're kind of dealing with right now, but rather you'll be working, whoever it is, we hope that this would be you, but it could potentially be somebody else depending on what the circumstances. That somebody would basically present ideas to the VAD, as well as hear the ideas from the VAD, and together hammer out a specific direction forward, and then tackle it, knowing that they are backed, that this person is backed with resources, financial and otherwise, to actually make these various ideas a reality. And so, for example, the ideas that we have here kind of waiting, and I think, Chaim, you've already have been involved with us and have seen that the ideas and the enthusiasm are there, but what oftentimes is missing is the one who takes a chayes to just see it all the way through to its fruition. And so that's what we are committed to, bringing somebody on board and making sure they are compensated for this, but somebody who can really take this on. It could either be as I think what Yehuda was you'll correct me if I'm wrong, Yehuda, but what he was suggesting perhaps is that we know that you have this project that you're working on that has seen tremendous success and that you are very devoted to, and you should be. And instead of it being an either or proposition, this could be something that perhaps gets folded in to the Minatzchim, is something that in the sense of God would discuss. But if that would be amenable, that you would do this kind of alongside and put together into the other things that you would then do on behalf of the Minatzchim, that might be a circumstance or a situation that works for both sides and gets us in a sense on the ground running here. I think that's something I'm pretty sure that's kind of what Yehuda is suggesting that us on the Minatzchim side consider, and that would also be a consideration on your side, Chaim. But we also have a suite of ideas. Some of them some of them we would love to discuss with you, and for you to consider making this, in a sense, your day job. We would pay you as such, and this would become something you are committed to from when you wake up till the job is done, as it were. Your shluchas. I meant to say your day job. To say day job not as opposed to shluchas. Day job as opposed to something you're giving a few, because shluchas has now become synonymous with anything that anybody gives their time to Laman, the big vision, but it does not necessarily mean that they're giving significant hours. People, for better or for worse, have used the term shluchas now to apply to something that they would they'll do in their lunch hour, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody that this becomes what they do. This becomes what they do in the day, and again, they will be compensated for this. Funds have already significant commitments have already been collected in this regard. And it would be a partnership between you, whoever it is, the Bar Poil, and the VAD, or let's call them the ones that are coming up with ideas in some directions, and hammer out a heskim in terms of what would be on the docket at any given time as to the things, the projects that would be undertaken and work towards fruition.
Yes, it sounds very sounds very exciting. Um,
Fine.
yeah,
Can I
obviously,
add one thing just?
sure.
Sorry for this is I'm on the bike path over here, and this is good. I've got the pumping energy. Any case,
This is
Minatzchim has
you
been
there in shower?
a pause on the bike path. I gave already the Mashiach class earlier on the bike path. Now it's this. So here, I just want to add is that, I think that whatever Minatzchim has accomplished is just a tiny seed that was put into the ground. What we've created, and I think it's just a seed, but it's a seed of a platform. So many shluchim across the world want to be poil in Yonah Mashiach Geula, just don't feel, they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the means of the platform. They don't feel an energy flowing with it that they can join along. I think that, we've done a few pullahs that were successful. It drew some attention. People got on. But the moment we start banging it out of the park, 1 or 2 or 3 pullahs and so on and so forth, you might have a team of thousands of, at least hundreds of shluchim that will be at your fingertips. That when there's something there to go with, they will jump in and they will work with it. It just needs we need to add that corner, that Evan Apina, which requires someone over there. And then this, and hopefully we don't need more pullahs, but if whatever, this can really turn into the major blaze that we need to blow up Mashiach across the entire world.
If I can,
my thoughts.
if I can add to your bike pad, sorry. I guess what Sandy meant before the day job was to be stomach gemeint for all of the Yamama now. Right? I guess that's what you meant as a day job.
Yes, exactly.
As Ingeman told me once, he signed a contract with another shliach. I asked him in terms of hours. He says, "Yeah, from Alois Hashachar till Tzeis Haneshama." This is his. This is his day job. That's his day job. Actually, that's what was written. That's how the contract was written. Actually.
Hoppe was het aan de Shabbos.
En lebt doch Baruch Hashem et leben bis de gut.
Okay, no.
So it's good of Arichas Yavin. But
in a sense, you could say it's the same thing you did with the Bachrim, the same idea. You could do the same thing with the Shluchim. Not 10, 20 Bachrim come to a share. It's it's everybody. It's the same thing. It's not 10, 20 Shluchim. It's all of them.
Okay. If I may find 1 second, I think there is an important, I think, point that we have to preface and clarify. At no point are we going in a competition with the Mashiach office. I think that's extremely, extremely important to emphasize. We're not competing with the Mashiach office. Mashiach office is doing beautiful work, and we want to help them. We want to support it. We support it till now. We're going to continue helping whatever it is within our purview that we can be of help. So I think it will also be important eventually to have a conversation with them so that it shouldn't look like there's a new competing organization and we're competing in something. I just want to emphasize this because don't work. To healthy competition is fine, but not inappropriate.
Competition competition implies that there is a tight space and there's overlap and potential friction because of overlap. Here, unfortunately, we're dealing with the opposite. There's so much to do and so little people on it that if anything, it's collaboration, not competition.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, that there is a need for discussion with the Mashiach Hafiz so as to clarify, what they're doing, what we want to do, because most of us over here on this call are involved, or many of us at least, are involved with the Mashiach Hafiz as much as we're involved in the Minatzchim adventure. So that, I think that's important. But going back to what you said before, I mean, there's no question about it that the Chidon, what you have developed, is definitely something which could fit very well in our thinking. But take it broader. So it's not as if, finish this little project and then jump onto this. It could all become part of the broader perspective, the broader issues, the broader reach that we want to have. Could be Chidon, as I said, Chidon for Anash, Chidon for all the yeshivas in the world, Chidon for Klal Yisrael. Make a Chidon for Klal Yisrael. If you know Aleph Beis or you don't know Aleph Beis, join that thing. I mean, you obviously seem to have the the smarts to think of programs, to think of ideas, and it could definitely be included and not that this is a part job and it's all part. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that what you're doing could all be an integral part of it and to take it to the next level.
Yeah, so obviously everything mentioned here excites me a lot because these are things that I have tivus to do these things on my own. I would love to be able to reach shluchim, to reach communities, to 100%. So and I definitely see this as a way, definitely as a start. The Chidon Mashiach is definitely a start, and it's even I see it as a base because depends what you're doing. But when you're talking about looking in a big scale, I remember by United with the Rebbe when we were trying to get everyone to sign, and we wanted to get more signatures. And the way to get more signatures, one of the ways was to get Bacharim to make a shturim and get Bacharim to reach out to their family, to their communities, because Bacharim are a powerhouse as well. And I remember that we had the issue that the Bacharim weren't on board. The Bacharim weren't connecting with the idea of United with the Rebbe, the Ksavis Kashers, for whatever reasons. The Bacharim wasn't in the Chinuch or whatever it is. So we had that barrier. And I feel that the importance of the Chidon is not just for the Chidon per se, but any future programs that there's a variety of different programs and options that could be done. And all should be done. And I think when we have the Bacharim on a mindset that they know Gul Mashiach, they're familiar with the Ninyanim, they could be a very strong Bacharim are always going America, Bacharim are always going to Shluchim, and it's a very, very important asset, even in the look when we're looking as if we're trying to do with the Welt. So like I said, it's all up my alley. The details of the technicalities, how much practically I wish I can commit to everything, but I'm still a bacher. I'm a 770 bacher. I have Seder Yeshiva, and I have and release time and. So to be able to sign on a paper and say that my day job will be this, I'm already signed the paper to the Anhalas Yeshiva. I'm already meshubad, so I can't promise anything. So my time is limited. Definitely, very interested. But as just Hashem, if the time allows and the circumstances allows, I would be happy to consider it and maybe get my friends on board as well. But one of the partners actually with the Mashiach Chidon, he just got engaged. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
I think that Shlomi also started as a chassan. Shlomi Napastik, I think when we approached him, he was a chassan or a bacher. I think he was a chassan then. He definitely was married.
Yes, he was a chassan.
Sasgula, Chaim Sasgula.
But the point is, so I don't know what's I'm saying even now, like I don't have physical more time to add to my schedule, but when there's a will, there's a way. So again, I'm not closing any doors, and but this is what I have in my hands right now. This is the project, and it's a big project. It's a $70,000 budget, and then we still have a lot to work with the Minatzchim and with all the Minatzchim's help. I mean, I hope the Minatzchim the Minatzchim cover it but there's still a lot of work I need to do on my own. So Akopanim, I'm very supportive. I'm very ba'ad, and I have a lot of I thought of this many times of different curriculums, how the shulchan that could help a JLI class format, different types of formats. I will have to see how things go, and I hope that at least we can start with this base, something that's happening, but don't think it's happening. It's a chiddush. It's a yesh me'ayin. It's not like because the Bachrim are already working on it, it means it's going to happen. That means whatever David wants. It's there's still we have maybe $20,000 if I count all the theoretical pledges, and we have a long way to go. So so I hope we can make this happen, and B'ezras Hashem, we can work on more.
There's a story which I repeated a million times already. I love this story. To what you said in terms of time, etc. We used to call him A.T. Safrin. He was a shliach in England. And he's going back, I heard it from him a number of times, and I think I quote him verbatim. He came once to the Rebbe Yechidus, and he basically asked the Rebbe that he has so many different responsibilities, and he went on to list all the responsibilities. And he asked the Rebbe which one should he let go, because simply the day only has 24 hours. And especially Begashmis, it's impossible for him to get to all his responsibilities. So his question to the Rebbe was, what should he let go? And the Rebbe tells him, Rebbe style, du tust noch nicht genug. You're not doing enough yet. So he didn't complain. He's a chassid. He was a real soldier, a real shliach. And he tells the Rebbe, that's how he said it then. Was noch darf ich tun? If I don't do enough, what else do I need to do? That was his reaction. So the Rebbe tells him the following: Und das wird du tust bis jetzt. What you have been doing until now, tust du mit der eigenen Keches, and you're doing it with your own strength. Du tust doch es mit der Keches von Mishaleach. You're doing it with the Keches of the Mishaleach. The Keches from Mishaleach can be torn asachmen. The Keches of the Mishaleach, one can do much more. So, if it's a day job, then yes, we have limitations. But if it's a shlichus, then there's no limitations.
Hold on.
It takes on a totally different reality.
Why can we start with one pu'ula? Is that shaykh? Take our top pu'ula and start with that. Is a shaykh? You can get even someone else to help you. I'm okay. Can we start with that? Does that make sense?
Again, again, on my end, I'm very happy, and if we're talking about in the Ilam theory, to do more projects and Adarabba, but I'm saying if one headache is less on my head, then I could think about more headaches. So if I have to worry about $50,000 right now, but Teva, even if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try it. There's I can definitely try my best, but the chances that I'll be successful and it'll be Masudar and it'll be functional are a lot less. So I'm happy to hear ideas, hear what you have to offer, and I have to see if if I can work with it.
So what's our first priority? The MEon or the interviews?
I would suggest, if I may, Isaac, I would maybe suggest to be practical. Now that we Baruch Hashem hear from Chaim that he's excited about it, which is the first and most important thing that we needed to know. Here's a Bacher that wants to not jump ship, but jump onto the ship, come on board. So I think what would be necessary for Chaim just to think for himself, see what are his availabilities and so on and so forth, in his own mind, to think how he could structure. Ideas, we have plenty. We've been producing ideas for the last year. Just about every week we come up with new ideas. So there's no shortage of ideas, right? Obviously it has to become focused on what we're going to prioritize. We do this, we do this, we do this. So I think if you can, on your own, think what you will see, what you feel best, how you see this whole idea, how you see the Minatzchim part of your thinking, of your all projects that you have and that you want to continue, etc. I think it would be necessary to create a little VAD of 2-3 guys, Yehud is already involved, and some other 2 people, to sit down with you and try to strategize and take it from there. Rather than throwing out, no, this is this bullet, this bullet, this bullet. Which one are you taking?
Again, meetings take time, but I'm happy to have a discussion about about the specific, again, because a lot of for a lot of ideas depends on the type of idea, takes different type of time. You know, certain ideas require phone calls, certain ideas require messaging, certain ideas require programming, arranging, renting things. So depending on the what are we talking about, it obviously affects a lot. If I can do it, or I could consider it, as well as, again, the Chidon Mashiach's weight also affects everything together.
We're not talking about starting to have meetings for the sake of having meetings, and then to decide when is the next meeting. Definitely not. But still, if you want something to be successful, it has to have a certain basis, a certain clear structure. And for this, there has to be a conversation at least of getting clarity.
Okay, I'm happy to have that conversation and hear what
I'm not the only bedaber here. Everybody's very quiet, but let's hear what other people think.
And I think that's the thing. I think right now let's work up I think realistically what's going to happen, unless anybody has a different idea, is that we kind of put a proposal before you. You put a proposal before us. You take a look at it. You can put a counter proposal, et cetera, et cetera. I think then there'll be a little bit of a trial period, and if it seems that this is something that can work, because here's, let's be frank, we each have, you have your priority, which is the Chidon Mashiach, which is a beautiful and a very important project. We have our priorities, things that we have been working on that we are frustrated that they are not getting the full focus and attention that they deserve, also because we're just people that otherwise have other responsibilities. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody who can kind of take this on as their responsibility. If we can somehow marry the two, that you feel that you are able to give the proper time and attention to this, and we feel that you're also giving the proper time and attention to the projects that we are talking about, and then the compensation for which we will be giving money in your direction. You can either use for your own personal life expenses, or your bacher, so you have that's less life expense, and you can rather use it for the projects that you are otherwise fundraising for. I mean, you can choose to do with whatever you want with the compensation. If this is something if this is an approach that works, and we see that there is a longevity to this, then I think we go forward from both sides. I think it has to be discussed. What really has to be hammered out from your end and from our end is the fact that you have right now your front burner focus, which is a good thing, and whether it makes sense for us to, in a sense, adopt it and allow it to become our front burner issue, something we put resources toward, and help you in that with the understanding that that becomes something that becomes under also the aegis of the Minatzchim to a part, but also then frees you up to also work on some of our projects. I think that's really where what it comes down to. If we can make all that happen,
sounds great.
Yeah. Say again.
I said it sounds great. Sounds perfect. So I guess I'll wait for I'll wait for I'll wait for a proposal or an idea. What are we looking at, and then I can give the counter proposal, and then we can make it all work.
All right. Anything? Anybody else want to bring up anything on their end?
Not to toot the horn of anybody, but back to what we said in the beginning, that the Rebbe said the main thing is the derech yishara about learning how it changes a person completely. If you permit me, I want to read. Today I had to give exams to seminary girls that I teach them once a week. So just too lazy to put together questions for the exam. So I had this idea. I told the girls, I want you to tell me what you gained from this class a whole year. So I don't have to come up with questions, right? And I want to read to you what one of the girls wrote. She's a girl from Ukraine. I know nothing about the family. I just know because we had a whole bunch of girls that came from Ukraine this year here to Montreal Seminary. Her English is relatively limited. To be honest with you, though, I thought the whole year that she didn't pay too much attention to what we were doing. I'll read you what she wrote. What this class gave me in my life. And I'm sharing this because the importance of the Chidon and the learning, etc., etc. This class, one of the interesting classes that we learn what is a Rebbe. And now we can feel him right here and now, even after Gimel Tammuz. Before I came here, I didn't really had a connection to Rebbe. I didn't say chitas. I didn't write letters to him. Just didn't have a feeling that I need or wanted. And then I came to seminary. This class was my first, and I just liked it immediately. I didn't like just the very Mashiachistic. I didn't like just the very Mashiachistic staff, because in my house we don't speak like this. But it's just how I feel regularly about it. My connection just getting better and better. After I heard all the stories about the Rebbe and the explanation how we see the Mashiach here, something mamish, I'm missing the word. For example, after we learned the Chanukah class, all the gematrias about Mashiach, that the letters of Sivan is the letters of Mashiach, I started to feel it. After this, I wanted to come to the Rebbe to fix my connection and not ruin it again. But I had a problem with my visa. So I write a letter and Rebbe answered me. He gave me a bracha to come. Then, to come and then come back to my place of shlichus. I think that it was, and she ended up going. I think it was the best Chanukah in my life. Davening is 7:70 in the morning, when you understand that it is not what, in the morning, when you understand that if I was not writing the Rebbe letter, if I didn't start fixing my connection after your classes, I didn't do this, never, because I didn't know how to do it. Anyway, so thank you for helping me fix my connection with the Rebbe. Pashut, from learning in Yanim B'Sheikh Gola, this girl changed her entire life. So, the question, Derech Yeshara is the way to go. The question just is, how do we reach the whole world with this Derech Yeshara? Anyway, so that was just a little sidetrack.
Mitzvah Hashem, we should be bring this to every single chassid and every single yid.
Yes. Yes.
Amen.
I just put on the
Yeah,
chat, if
yeah.
anybody wants, MashiachIdon.com, that's our website. You could see over there the full curriculum. You could download all 3 kaivitzim if you want. You could have last year's curriculum. You can see pictures. You can see all the yeshivas that are joining. So you have the link. You can see what it's like if you want more details.
Hold on. Is there a link that we can give some money towards your 50,000 goal?
Yes, just
Please put it on.
MashiachIdon.com/donate.
Put it on.
All right.
Okay, so not to waste time on meetings. When do we want to get together, and come up with a practical plan?
We can continue the conversation if it's shaykh.
I personally have to run to a hospital. I was just notified that somebody wants to see the last rites. So I have to run to a hospital. Hopefully the
whoever wants to stay on can stay on. I mean,
the gula will be right then. Before that, and I will avoid it too. But I do have to get off now. So whatever you decide, if you want to do it later, you want to do it now, just keep me informed, Trevor, and I will put in my 2 cents. Shkoyach Chaim. We're all excited about you being excited.
Very true. Very true.
On my end, I mean, it makes no difference if it's easier just to finish up now. That works. If you want to make a time later,
No, I think the next step is we're going to have to collaborate, come together with it, and then give you a proposal.
all right, no problem. Let me know. You have my number, and
As you see, we have your number.
well,
As you see, we have your number.
yep. So yeah, Mashiach now. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Man, that's luck.
Kol tovchem. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
I'm sure it's
Amen. Abesora tova.
All right.
Anyone want to stay on? Does that make sense or not?
I mean, I think we need some of the primary actors here. So I do believe that if we're going to do this, maybe we have to put another day of the week. But it doesn't make sense. I think because
That's Monday.
Want to wait a whole nother week?
Why can't we a separate meeting just to another day?
Put it out there. Put it out there.
Because I tell you, it usually doesn't work.
So if the less Breda, we can always fall back to next Monday. But if we can find a date that works, and again, really, I think here's the thing. Who do we have on right now? Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay, so it's not on. It's I don't know. Mid-CD, I think it's worth a try because he's a very capable he's a capable cameraman, and I think it might be an investment in the long term if he's Bacher kind of like